All right. And then also with the Champions League, as always, does come a whole ton of new cards revealed. It wasn't that many this time, really just one archetype revealed.
Yeah.
And that is going to be the Cynthia's cards. Shout outs to Twan Lay over on Twitter as always for these translations. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of kind of this seems well, we'll talk about it. It seems not so bad. We got the Cynthia's Garchomp EX. 330 HP, fighting type, stage 2 Pokemon with the free retreat. It is weak to grass, which is a pretty bad weakness to have right now in the game. But it's got the corkscrew dive for one fighting, 100 damage. You may draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. And then Dragon Blaster for 2 fighting energy, 260, then discard all energy from this Pokemon. A big part of this archetype will definitely be Cynthia's Gabite with Champion's Call. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for one Cynthia's Pokemon, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. And then the other big piece here is this Roserade with Glorious Cheer. Attacks from your Cynthia's Pokemon deal 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So with a couple of Roserade in play, with the Dragon Blaster, you're able to be dealing 320 damage, enough to one hit KO most things in the format. Not KOing Charizard EX, but KOing most things. And then I guess there is the Cynthia Spiritomb, Raging Curse. This attack does 10 damage for each damage counter on all of your benched Cynthia's Pokemon. It's okay whenever you've got something like the Garchomp that has so much HP and has free retreat, so you can get into this pretty easily. And then we've got Cynthia's Power Weight. The Cynthia's Pokemon this card is attached to gets plus 70 HP.
Pretty
Plus
big number.
70.
Yeah. On a tool card, can play 4 of them. Yeah, honestly, this is like, this card just feels like a lot of it's like there's something like super I don't know, it's just a bunch of stats. Like, it feels like compared to, like, some other stuff like Dragon Ball, it's got the cool spread attack. Even something like Charizard with its ability to accelerate energy in play. This card is, like, super straightforward, and then it's just like Rose Red increases damage, Tool card increases HP, big stats, hit hard, a lot of HP, tanky as well. So, it definitely seems like it'll probably be pretty good. We'll have to wait and see for sure, but, I mean, those are pretty good stats. Like, it's just got a lot of numbers. Got some big numbers to work with. The only big thing to, like, think about with this deck, and it might not need it, is, like, a lack of energy acceleration for fighting. We have Energy Sticker, Flip a Coin of Heads, get an energy discard pile, I believe, and we have Gutsy Pickaxe rotates, right? That definitely
Yeah, the
rotates.
pickaxe rotates. There is
Yeah,
Power Glass, but then you don't get to use
yeah.
the really good tool, the plus 70 HP. I mean, we're talking about something with free retreat that has 400 HP. That's pretty good. I mean, like there could just be the makings of like a wall deck here, to be honest.
Yeah, it also like you have Gabite, and you can constantly like cycle through Gabites to find your Pokemon. So you could play Turo as well. Like you're gonna be playing off Gabite pretty heavily, so you can just like hit for 130, 160 with the first attack, Turo it up, draw more cards, just have another Turo in your hand, cycle through it. You do lose the tool card, of course. Um, so that would be something. And we don't have anything like a Cheryl in the format, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, the stats might just be high enough where you can kind of cycle through Garchomps, be like attach once, Corkscrew dive, then maybe you attach to the bench one, Corkscrew dive with the active one again. It gets KO'd, you go to the next one, Dragon Blaster, just progress from there, right? Like that would maybe be enough. Just the manual attachments might be enough to get this deck through because the stats are just so high between the tool card and the Roserade.
The stats are just real high. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like that's what we said that about Charizard, right? Is we're just like the stats are really high. Doesn't seem it's got to be good,
I
right?
think everyone knew Charizard, like
Well, I don't know because it was like really bad when
it
it
was
first
pretty
came. Oh,
bad
we
at
thought it
first,
was
but it's like
bad.
there was too much going on with that card for it to
There was
not
too much.
be
There was too much.
insane. The Energy Excel, broken attack that does a ton of damage and more as the game goes on. Like,
Had a
yeah,
lot going
that
for it.
ability, the ability is really the insane part that puts Charizard over the edge, I think, of making it
Yeah.
so insane. But we talk about how it's insane, and there was one in top 16. So
Well, I mean, that was a while ago. Charizard's had its moments. I also think Charizard's probably not great. Charizard's not great right now in our format, I don't think. It doesn't seem great next format,
it is
but
pretty
it'll
difficult for a card to maintain playability throughout the entirety of its
yeah, yeah.
legality.
I think it'll come back around. And honestly, one thing that's kind of cool, which is I feel like what we're seeing a little bit more of now that rotation has happened. Like one of the things that was just kind of silly about Charizard is like you didn't like, oh, I'm playing my Ogre Pond deck and they're playing Charizard. I have the advantage. They were just like, even if you get the first 2 prize cards, I'm just gonna Radzard and change up the prize trade, and you still lose. And you're like, I guess, or I'm gonna Dusknoir Briar, and it's like you still lose. Like all that stuff kind of felt bad. It didn't feel like you could like play a grass type against Charizard and be like, oh yeah, I have the type advantage, right? Or I can build this deck around being a grass deck to beat Charizard because they have Radzard, they have Briar, they have Dusknoir. They still literally have Briar and Dusknoir. So I don't even know how much this Radzard even matters, to be honest. But now it'll probably feel a little bit better to be playing a grass deck up against Charizard, whereas previously it just didn't feel like it mattered at all. Um, yeah, Charizard felt like one of those like invincible decks for a while, where it's like it's too many options, too wide of a range to work with. Now it's coming down a little bit.